Hello and welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the stories that matter in politics, culture, and society. Today, we're exploring a story that has captivated observers in South African politics and beyond, a story of ambition, courage, and controversy that challenges the norms of party politics. It's about Esther Molepo, a figure whose recent actions within the Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF, have sparked intense debate, raised eyebrows, and left many wondering about the inner workings of one of South Africa's most prominent political movements. Esther Molepo, an extraordinary and some might say, unconventional member of the EFF, has found herself at the center of a political storm. Her decision to nominate herself for the position of deputy president has not only shaken up the party's leadership structure but also ignited conversations about what it means to stand up for one's beliefs in the face of powerful opposition. Her boldness, however, has come at a cost. Reports suggest she has faced bullying and disciplinary measures from within the party, raising questions about the EFF's commitment to its core values of bravery, transparency, and radical commitment to justice. But who is Esther Molepo, and why has her story struck such a chord? Today, we are unpacking the complexities of this situation, looking at the historical context of the EFF, the significance of Molepo's actions, and what this means for South African politics as a whole. We'll also analyze the reactions, both from within the EFF and from the broader political landscape, to see what this episode reveals about power, democracy, and leadership in the 21st century. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in. To understand why Esther Molepo's actions are so significant, we need to take a step back and explore the origins of the EFF. The party was founded in 2013 by Julius Malema and others who had broken away from the African National Congress Youth League. From the beginning, the EFF positioned itself as a radical alternative to the mainstream political parties in South Africa, focusing on economic justice, land redistribution, and anti-corruption. Its bright red berets and fiery rhetoric have made it one of the most recognizable political movements in the country, attracting both staunch supporters and vocal critics. The EFF's ethos has always emphasized courage, the willingness to challenge the status quo, and an uncompromising dedication to its principles. But as with any organization, maintaining those ideals can be challenging, especially as the party grows in size and influence. Over the years, there have been murmurs about internal conflicts, power struggles, and a lack of transparency within the leadership. These issues often remain behind closed doors, but Esther Molepo's story has brought them into the spotlight in a way that's hard to ignore. When Molepo stood before the EFF leadership and nominated herself for deputy president, it was a moment that caught everyone off guard. In most political organizations, leadership positions are carefully orchestrated, with decisions made through a combination of backroom negotiations, alliances, and, in some cases, sheer force of personality. Molepo's decision to bypass this system and take matters into her own hands was seen by many as an act of defiance, a way of saying that she would not be silenced or sidelined. For her supporters, this was a display of the very values the EFF claims to uphold: bravery, independence, and a commitment to doing what's right, even when it's not easy. However, not everyone saw it that way. According to reports, Molepo's actions were met with hostility from some within the EFF leadership. Sources suggest that her nomination was viewed as a direct challenge to the established hierarchy, leading to allegations of bullying and even a formal disciplinary letter. This letter, which reportedly suggests the possibility of suspension, has sparked outrage among Molepo's supporters, who argue that she is being punished for embodying the very spirit of the EFF. One of Molepo's close allies, speaking anonymously, has accused the leadership of trying to silence dissent instead of fostering dialogue. They argue that Molepo's self-nomination was not an act of rebellion but rather an attempt to inject new energy and ideas into the party. Political analyst Dr. Tumi Mokoena has echoed these sentiments, stating that the EFF should celebrate Molepo's actions as a sign of healthy internal democracy rather than suppressing them. According to Mokoena, the way the party handles this situation could have long-term implications for its credibility and its ability to attract new members who are passionate about its mission. Of course, there are other perspectives to consider. Some within the EFF argue that while Molepo's courage is admirable, her actions were disruptive and potentially damaging to the party's unity. They contend that leadership decisions need to be made collectively and that bypassing established processes undermines the stability of the organization. For these critics, the issue is not about silencing Molepo but about ensuring that the party remains focused and cohesive as it prepares for critical challenges, including the upcoming elections. This brings us to the broader implications of this story. At its core, the tension between Molepo and the EFF leadership raises questions about the balance between individual agency and collective responsibility. In any political organization, there is always a delicate dance between encouraging diverse voices and maintaining a unified front. Molepo's story is a reminder that democracy, even within a party, is not always straightforward. It's messy, it's complicated, and it often involves difficult conversations about power, privilege, and accountability. So where does this leave us? For Molepo, the path forward is likely to be challenging. She has vowed to continue fighting for justice within the EFF, but it remains to be seen whether the party will embrace her vision or push her further to the margins. For the EFF, this is a pivotal moment. How the leadership responds to Molepo's actions will send a strong signal about its commitment to its values and its willingness to engage with dissenting voices. And for South African politics as a whole, this episode serves as a reminder that true democracy requires not just bold leaders but also organizations that are willing to practice what they preach. Before we wrap up, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Esther Molepo's self-nomination was a courageous act of democracy, or do you see it as a disruption to the EFF's unity? How should the party handle internal conflicts like this? And what does this story tell us about the state of South African politics today? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of the stories shaping our world. Until next time, take care and stay curious.